Hello and welcome back to episode 20 of the Sports Dudes podcast. I am your host, Jonathan Gurley, alongside my co host and brother, Nick Mackey. And today we are back. It's holiday
It's a new
season.
year.
Yeah, been a year. Been very busy holiday season. My computer finally updated to saying 1/2/24 instead of 3 o'clock in the morning on December 30th, which is nice. Finally. Um, Today we've got a baseball episode. We're gonna be talking some baseball. Talk about the slow off season it's been. The Dodgers have made some pretty huge moves. You could say the least this off season. Then
Yeah,
there's
that's
kind
an understatement.
of Then there's kind of been a roadblock when on the pitching market aspect of things. There's still a ton of good pitchers out there. Some that I think the Red Sox should go out and they'd benefit from getting their services. And then speaking of the Red Sox actually did something because they made a trade. They traded somebody that we will get into, and they also signed somebody that we will get into. So slow off season. I'm gonna just read you the first list of free agents that come up when I go to the Sport Track free agency tracker. First, I've got Marcus Stroman, who was an All-Star last year, Joey Votto, Hyun-Jin Ryu, Clayton Kershaw, Jock Peterson, Yasmani Grandal, Liam Hendricks, Cody Bellinger, Justin Turner, Evan Longoria, Brandon Crawford, AJ Pollock, Julio Urias. He won't get signed, but Josh Hader, Gene Segura, Teoscar Hernandez, Will Myers. Then you still got Jorge Soler, Michael Brantley, Carlos Carrasco, Joey Gallo, Reese Hoskins, Jorge Soler. Like Sean, you've got a number of elite free agents still out on the board with about a month left until spring training, a month or two away from spring training, and
Yep.
you've got still a ton of impact players left out in free agency. People who could easily get close to $20 million a year. Even another name I forgot. I forgot two names. Jordan Montgomery, who was a pivotal part of the Rangers World Series this year. He pitched amazing in the wild card round. He pitched amazing in every round. Is a huge reason for the Rangers' postseason success. And then
Yeah.
Blake Snell, who won the National League Cy Young this year. I don't know if we've heard anything on him.
I don't think so.
So it's very interesting to see this approach to to a slow off season like this.
Mhm. It's been a
Like,
very slow off season. I know I've been saying to you for a couple months, like since the season really ended, like when's it gonna pick up? When's it gonna pick up? Because
mm,
I mean, there's just nothing going on. And then I know we said, like when we were talking over the Christmas break, like that once Shohei got signed, it
w-
was
once Shohei, the kind of thought was once Shohei and Yamamoto were gonna get signed, that's when the expectation that the offseason was gonna finally pick up.
but it just hasn't. And I don't feel like anybody's really given a reason for it.
Yeah, yeah, and there's really no good reason for it, um, because it's there's truly no reason, I guess, for it. I mean, we saw a historically slow meetings this year. The only big thing to come out of the winter meetings was the Juan Soto trade for the Yankees, and Eduardo Rodriguez signing with the Diamondbacks. But we didn't really see much at all from there, and we thought ultimately everything was going to pick up, and it really didn't. It didn't.
It really hasn't. Like it's been, like you said, there's a ton of people still out there. We got a little over a month until people start showing up,
Hmm.
and to spring training and
Hmm.
the fact that there's so many quality people out there, it's just
Yeah,
confusing.
yeah, and it we I don't think we've ever seen an off season be this slow. We've seen players take a long time to sign, but we haven't seen something be this slow. Um, with moves happening. Um, which it's I don't know if it's just the lack of the owners pushing for it. It's the lack of players holding out for more money, thinking they can get more money based on some of the contracts that have been signed this year.
I mean, maybe it's been like a thing where because the Dodgers went out and spent so much money, which we'll talk about later, like
Hmm.
maybe everybody thinks that they're worth that kind of price. Like everybody's worth
Yeah,
the
they.
top end guys think they're worth that, and then you know where you're like how valuable you are to a team,
Mm,
and so everybody thinks that they could get like Yamamoto money.
yeah, yeah, and
Like the
and
top end guys think that, and so
yeah,
there's like a log jam. That's the word
yeah.
where people are just waiting out the big money and nobody's getting it.
Mm. And and another thing we have to factor in is you have to factor in like a long term deal because there's such a weird a big divide of a good pitcher like Eduardo Rodriguez getting a 5-year deal, a pitcher with a ton of upside that could really put it back together. Lucas Giolito got a 2-year deal with an opt out after year one, and then you look at Yamamoto getting 12 and Stroman just maybe getting 3 to 5, Snell getting 3 to 5. Then you got Montgomery apparently like maybe getting 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's such a I think maybe a wide discrepancy in that. But then
Mm-hmm.
you also look at like I don't know if it's everything for positions because if you look at second base, the second base class this year has nobody. Like
Yeah,
I think Whit Merrifield's the headliner from that group, and it's I don't know. It's just like I don't know. Maybe if a position discrepancy has something to do with it, if it's teams because there's really been no confirmation or denial if it's the owners are waiting, if it's the players that are waiting, if it's the players, if it's the players having their price too high, if it's the owners having their price too low. Like
mm-hmm.
we don't really know what the reasoning for this slow off season is, but I just could
I
it
mean,
be?
unless there's somebody in free agency or somebody that a lot of people think is going to get moved, that everybody's just kind of like the owners and the GMs are waiting for.
Yeah, but
And
at this point
maybe
though,
it's Mike Trout.
maybe. But at this point, what could they be waiting for? Because
It would have
Yamamoto,
to be like a Mike Trout
yeah,
getting moved on from the Angels because
because
that's going to be a big trade, and a lot of
yeah,
people are like, you don't want to sign somebody until after that, but that's pure speculation.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. It would have to be a $300 million person that's
yeah.
creating this jam.
But I just don't know who else on the market could get 300. But at the same time, you can bring up well, maybe they're waiting for that one last guy. Who else could it be? Soto's been moved already. Yamamoto's been signed. Shohei's been signed. And
Oh, My only thought would be it's like Mike Trout, maybe.
Yeah,
Your
but
speculation.
pure speculation. 'Cause I don't think the Angels need to move him, but I don't think they will. What I think it comes down to is I think maybe it could be teams that aren't willing to spend money, don't want to sorry, don't want to go the extra mile because of a team like the Dodgers, who we can kind of swing over into that, have made some very huge moves this offseason. The
Yeah.
Dodgers, the Dodgers first earlier last month signed a two-way superstar and arguably best player in baseball, Shohei Ohtani, to a 10-year, $700 million contract, the biggest in U.S. sports history. Uh, it absolutely insane, league changing. He doesn't change cities; he just stays in L.A. It is it
You
it
know, that,
uh-huh.
well, we're talking about Shohei. You said, and he didn't even change cities. I think that that's so funny
Yeah,
because the Rams, after he signed with the Dodgers, gifted him a Los Angeles Rams
he's
jersey,
been there for
like he
five
hasn't been.
years.
Yeah, like he hasn't been there for 5 years.
Yeah. So are they
Yeah, I get it.
saying
He's
that?
been in Anaheim, but like,
Yeah. So are they saying that they're the Dodgers of the NFL and the Chargers are the Angels, which actually kind of would make sense?
I think so. I think they're trying to say that like they don't that or they just don't consider Anaheim anywhere close to Los Angeles, even though it's the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Yeah, these it was funny. It was just funny because it was like that was the night Yamamoto signed too, and there was the whole rumor that Yamamoto was going to that game with Shohei as well. Um, it was just so. Speaking of Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he also signed with the Dodgers because you think you hear Shohei gets 7 years, 700 or 10 years, 10 $700 million, 70 million a season. But wait, the Dodgers find a loophole because they just do. They find a loophole and sign Shohei to that contract, but they defer 600 and what?
680 million or something because they're
He
only going to give him $2 million a year.
$2 million a year. They're like deferring 680 million, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Giving the Dodgers enough money in cap space to give Yoshinobu Yamamoto 12 years, 325 million.
Yeah, they spent $1 billion on two dudes, and the internet's like, "Oh, all to go 150 and
Uh,
32."
they're gonna win like 130 something games, and they're gonna lose to the 83 win Milwaukee Brewers because the Brewers beat them with the power of friendship, just like the Diamondbacks did this year.
Yeah, everybody keeps saying that.
The Diamondbacks did this. This was all the Diamondbacks.
But I want to sit back and I want to think about those two moves that they just made.
Oh, JD
Okay.
Martinez is also a free agent. This reminded me too because he's not going to be back at the Dodgers anymore.
So if we think about it, this year Shohei can't pitch.
Mm-hmm.
So assuming you don't re-sign Clayton Kershaw,
Uh-huh.
your pitching rotation this year is who?
It is. Yeah, sorry. It is. Um. It's Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow. Oh yeah, they also signed Tyler Glasnow or traded for Tyler Glasnow, signed like a 5 year, $135 million deal. It's um what?
Wild.
Yeah. So you got Yamamoto, Glasnow. Why am I blank? Because I know it goes Emmett Sheen and Bobby Miller. Why am I blanking on the
Walker
Walker
Bueller.
Bueller? So yeah, you go Yamamoto, Glasnow, Walker Bueller, Bobby Miller, Emmett Sheen.
Dustin May.
Probably pitch out of the bullpen.
You think so?
Yep, because he keeps getting hurt as a starter.
And so they're just going to have the most elite like bullpen because they got all these converted starters that
Yeah.
can just gas it up and throw 100
Well,
in their
yeah.
bullpen.
I
Because you already
mean,
got Gatterall,
uh-huh.
and now you got Dustin May in there.
Give him the best bullpen in baseball. Like if you're the Dodgers, that's ultimately what you want.
Yeah, but like, why would you need? I don't know. I think you do a 6-man rotation.
Uh, I don't know. That can leave too many rest days in between it because with the amount of injury concern with the Dodgers right now Yamamoto's their most healthy pitcher. You don't know what
Yeah.
Walker Buehler's going to look like. You don't know if Tyler Glasnow is going to stay healthy, and you don't know how well Sheen and Miller are going to convert to being in a full MLB season. I feel a 6 day a 6 day rest period is going to just be a little too much for them at times.
Okay.
Because you got to be able to find somebody. Because the issue with that is you're leaving more. Is say one pitcher struggles going deep into games, you got in that you're just expanding more room for having to leave. It's for more pitchers being tired. Like your starters are going to be full, well rested, but your bullpen's going to be used a lot more.
Okay. And so, well, I guess with your injury concerns, there's a chance that Gatterall
There's a
and Justin May end up starting a couple games this season because
uh,
who knows? When was the last time Glasnow even played a full season?
I don't think Tyler Glasnow has ever made a full 30 starts in his major league career. I saw something that said over the last 6 years, Tyler Glasnow's made like 70 starts, and last three, Jordan Montgomery's made 94. Uh, Tyler Glasnow, Tyler Glasnow had 34 pitched in 34 games in 2018 for Pittsburgh, but none of those were starts. Tyler Glasnow set a career high for starts last year with 21.
21 starts
Yes,
with the Rays.
yes,
So he ended up missing a typical starter. Like, because he's usually top of the rotation,
yeah.
gets like 30 to 33 starts a season.
He should be getting yes,
And
and
so he can't even get to 25.
yes. In 8 years, Tyler Glasnow has made 88 starts.
What?
Yep.
Oh, I guess COVID season's in there.
Well, that also first year with the Pirates, he appeared in 7 games, 4 starts. Second year with the Pirates, that's 15 games, 13 starts. And then in 2018, he appeared in 45 games, starting 11 of those, as the Pirates used him out of the bullpen because he was really struggling when he first came over the Pirates. So the Pirates used him out of the bullpen. Then Walker Buehler. I feel like Walker Buehler hasn't done the ball in a couple of years.
Well, when Walker Buehler was healthy, he was like, everybody thought he was going to be the ace.
So Walker Buehler hasn't. Okay, Walker Buehler did not pitch at all last year.
Yeah, I thought he got Tommy John.
He
He got
made
Tommy John at like the end of 2021.
yeah. So Walker Buehler's more health is more is stays is better health. He pitched in 8 games in 2017. That's not enough. Pitched in 24 starting 23 in 2018. Then 2019 made 30 starts. In 2020 made 8 starts, which would I think have been a full season potentially in 2020, and then made
Yeah, I
30
think it was.
and then made 33 in 2021 and made 12 in 2022 before getting Tommy John. So Bueller in 6 years has started 106 games. So he has started a a lot more than Tyler Glasnow already. But the last time Walker Bueller threw a pitch, let me see game logs. Yeah, I want to see the game logs. The last time Walker Bueller threw a pitch was June 10th.
June 10th.
Yes.
Yeah, so you probably have a pitch limit going into the year. But,
Oh yeah.
you know, with, I guess the big thing, though, is with these long contracts for Shohei and Yamamoto, that's you get them for together in tandem for 10 years.
Yeah.
And so Shohei can't pitch this year, but in 2025 he can. 2025 season he can. And so you're potentially looking at Shohei, Yamamoto, Bueller,
Hmm.
Glasnow, and then one of those two, the fourth and fifth starter.
Yeah. Then, but also you've got to factor in Shohei's health concerns too, because when you go to Shohei's, where's his pitching? Okay, so Shohei pitched 10 games in 2018 for needing his Tommy John. Then came back in 2020, pitched in 2 games with a 37 ERA, and then has made um, has made 23, 28, 23 starts. So there's going to be cause for concern in the Dodgers starting rotation this year with injuries, but that doesn't mean they didn't go out and address needs of going out and spending all that money on um, Yamamoto and Shohei. Shohei being the best hitter in free agency and the best pitcher, and Yamamoto being the second best pitcher in free agency this year.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I'm a Dodgers fan, and so
mm-hmm.
I would like it if they brought Kershaw back, but also because it'd be nice for him to end his career with and just ever pitch for one team. But if he's trying to, just end his career close to where he grew up in Texas with
Mm-hmm.
the Rangers or with, you know,
If I think if Kershaw doesn't go, if he doesn't go back to the Dodgers, he'll go to the Rangers.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, as much as I would like him to be an Astro, I don't think he. But I also don't
I
see
don't think
him.
I don't think he'd ever become an Astro.
I don't see him retiring because he didn't get signed. Like,
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna wait a bit.
mhm. um, yeah. I mean, I'm hopeful for the Dodgers. I know people pray on their downfall, but people used to pray for the Patriots' downfall, and we still stayed strong.
Yeah,
And now it's catching up with us. So,
yeah, it is. Um, Speaking of more and more pitching, the pitching, um, the pitching market has kind of been slowed up this year. As mentioned, you've got names like Marcus Stroman, Clayton Kershaw, Liam Hendricks, um, Brandon Woodruff, Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery, James Paxton, Michael Lorenzen. You've got some quality names, and then you've got some bad names here too. It's been very interesting to see how the pitching market's gone, because you've seen headliner names go like Yamamoto, Shohei. You saw Sonny Gray sign with the Cardinals very early in the offseason, and then you saw Aaron Nola go back to the Phillies. But then you also saw some mid-tier guys like Mike Minor, not Mike Minor, Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha go to the Royals. You saw the Red Sox sign Lucas Giolito. So there's been a ton of movement so far in I say there's a ton of movement, but there's not been a ton of movement because there's been a ton of movement on the pitching end, but there hasn't because you're not seeing top end guys go. You're seeing a bunch of mid tier guys fly off, but the number of them looks like a lot.
Like there's been a lot of like role players being signed, not a lot of
Superstars,
yeah.
yeah, that is a great way of putting it. Just because it's it's almost frustrating. Uh, yeah, like role players. It's such a great way of putting it because it's like if I go if I go to signed here, let me switch this.
Because I mean, you got Giolito who was signed. I wouldn't call him a top end guy, even though he was good for a while,
Hmm.
like a few years ago. But like now he got was on three different teams
Yeah,
next year.
yeah.
He like he's not a top of the rotation guy.
He could be with
Maybe
Andrew Bailey. He could be with Andrew Bailey.
I mean, yeah, he could be, and he may be top of the rotation for the Red Sox.
We just
But
need innings eaters.
yeah, I mean,
So
especially with your trade of Chris Sale, I realized he wasn't really an innings eater.
yeah, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a bit. So the pitchers that have gone are Shohei, Yamamoto, Nola, Rodriguez, Gray, Lugo, Giolito, Waka. Then you get to Rolando Lopez, Nick Martinez, Kenta Maeda, Tyler Mele, Emilio Pagan, Frankie Montas, Jack Flaherty, Severino.
Montas is somebody who's I would consider him a cusper because with the right pitching coach and with the right development,
Hmm.
Montas could be a top end guy.
Yeah, he's but the one thing is he's got to stay healthy.
But
Um,
he could also, I mean, he's got a lot of potential, but he just hasn't lived up to the hype
mhm.
and like yet.
Yeah, so Montas in 2021 had a 3.37 ERA with the A's. Then in 2022 had a 3.18 with the A's, but had a 6.35 with the Yankees. And then
Mhm.
he had a 0 ERA in one game this year with them. So,
He was a minor leaguer then for the year.
he was recovering from injury.
Oh,
Um, let me see if I can find the. Yeah, I think he had like Tommy. I think he had Tommy John or something like that. He missed a long amount of time. He struggled. He was really good at the Coliseum with the
mhm.
A's, like the year the A's traded him, which would have been last year. He was very inconsistent. He's got to learn how to pitch. He's kind of learned how to pitch. Where is it? Let me see the ERA. Who's it showing me? Okay. Sorry, baseball reference is like
Yeah.
bugging right now.
Um, so he's just been kind of inconsistent.
Yeah, it's really what it is. It's not showing me. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So at home he had a 3.11 ERA, and on the road he had a 5.6.
Oh, okay.
So he's kind of like how Cutter Crawford was this year for the Red Sox.
Hmm.
Um,
Have they made it? Never mind. I'll ask that later.
uh, um, so you've got Martin Perez signed with the Pirates.
Yeah.
Don't know when that was, and I really don't care. But this pitching market it's been very slow, but you've had a ton of like of these type of filler arms go. which has caused it to be a little just slow. Just
It does
slow.
seem like it's more busy than.
It seems like it's more busy than it's actually been.
Um. So, in your opinion, Jonathan,
Hmm.
what move has been sneakily the best?
Um, I mean, the Red Sox getting Isaiah Campbell earlier this offseason was a good signing, a good pickup. And hey, maybe Giolito's going to be it, but no, not actually that. Let me check all the positions signed because I've got one in mind, but I feel like he's kind of a no brainer. Uh, Jung Ho
Right.
Lee.
Well, I'm not talking about Shohei or Yamamoto. I'm talking about somebody that,
Did they have to get less than $100 million?
well, they like obviously Shohei and Yamamoto are going to improve the Dodgers,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about somebody that came in your opinion, and is going to help that team be better this year.
Hmm.
And not a lot of people are thinking about them,
Well, okay, I don't know how
like
much.
Martin Perez to the Pirates.
Okay. I don't know how many people are thinking about Jung Ho Lee to the Giants. I know he got 6 years, 113, but I think he's not much of a power bat, but I think with Triples Alley out there, I think he can maybe get something going. Um, I think
He's a
Mitch,
good consistent bat.
huh?
He's a good consistent bat.
Yeah, I think Mitch Garver, um, to the Mariners on a 2 year, $24 million contract was good. They might look for him to DH maybe, because they did lose Eugenio Suarez this offseason to the Diamondbacks via trade. Um, but I really like adding that power impact bat in the middle of the Mariners lineup. The Mariners lineup is a good lineup, I think, and I think adding somebody like Mitch Garver, who's going to hit for power in between that and split time behind the plate with Cal Raleigh. I like that. I also like Tyler Mahle at the Rangers. He's going to miss most of it, I think, this year because he has to get Tommy John, but he signed a 2 year, $22 million deal. Very solid pitcher before injury, and I think with how the Rangers can been developing pitching, I think he could really do pretty well in Texas.
Oh, Shota Iamanji hasn't been signed yet.
Nope, that's a name. Another name I forgot. Shota Imanga, however
I
it's
don't know.
said.
It looks like Iamanja.
I think it's Iamanja or Imanaga. I think it might be actually Imanaga. Has not been signed yet. That's another. That's
Fourth of
another.
July.
That's another quality name, huh?
Uh, Ryu, Manaya, Clevenger, Alex Wood, Paxton,
Paxton's another good name too.
Hector Neris, Chapman, David Robinson, Jordan Hicks, Robert Stevenson. You
Robert
know,
Stevenson. If the Red Sox do trade Kenley, Robert Stevenson would be a great signing.
like I wouldn't mind the Red Sox uh, signing Jordan Hicks to see if they can't get a resurgence on his career.
He was actually pretty. He actually pitched great down the stretch last year for the
Yeah.
Jays.
Well, just to like he's a sinker baller, and I
Yeah.
know every time he throws that sinker ball a little too fast, he gets hurt.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He pitched to a 3.29 ERA last year. He had a 2.63 with the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
So, and I think the Astros are showing interest in him, but I think he might be a little too much for what they're looking for. Um, so yeah, it's been a very kind of slowish off season, especially for the Red Sox, and I would like to talk a bit to wrap this up about the Red Sox off season, because the Red Sox they did something.
They finally did something.
Yep. The Red Sox signed Lucas Giolito to a 2-year, $39 million contract.
And
Uh,
that's not all they did either.
nope. But he will be Giolito will be an unrestricted free agent in 2026, but he will be a free agent potentially in 2025 if he opts out. He has a player option. He's got a it's so it's really a 2-year, $38.5 million contract. The Red Sox can also attach a qualifying offer of $20 million to him next year if he pitches well and opts out. And they can get a draft pick for him if they do that. So that is a positive. He's Giolito struggled, you could say mightily last year. Um, was traded to the Angels at the deadline in an overpay by the Angels, and was DFA'd or waived midway through that time, and uh, was picked up by the Guardians. Giolito went 8-15 this year with a 4.48 or 4.88. The ERA splits were 3.79 with the White Sox, 6.89 with the Angels, and 7.04 with the Guardians. But just in 2021, he had a 3.53 ERA. The year before 3.48, and then the year before that a 3.41. So the potential's there. He's got the stuff, and with new pitching coach Andrew Bailey.
Andrew Bailey. We're circling back to Andrew Bailey.
Yes, Andrew Bailey is a phenomenal pitching coach. He turned around Kevin Gausman. He turned around Logan Webb. The Giants have always had consistent pitching the past couple of years because Andrew Bailey's been there, and I'm going in with a open mindset because Giolito sucked in arguably the worst division in baseball, the AL Central. And I'm gonna go with an open mind, and maybe Bailey can fix him. But I'm also not expecting much. Realistically, the Red Sox are probably gonna get a mid-4 ERA guy who's gonna pitch 180 innings, which is something the Red Sox didn't have any of their pitchers do last year.
You're right.
So there's that. Then 24 hours later, the tweet from Jeff Passan that the Red Sox have traded 7-time All-Star Chris Sale to the Atlanta Braves in exchange for second baseman or middle infield prospect Vaughn Grisham. Now, on surface value, it's like, whoa, 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 the Red Sox did what? But then you ask me, I love this trade. Vaughn Grisham was kind of phased out of being the starting shortstop in Atlanta last year. They did not expect the production. They were going to get out of All-Star Orlando Arcia. And Grisham really struggled defensively.
Yeah.
Actually, in the major leagues, has a -7 outs above average with a -8 defensive runs saved.
Wow, he fits right in with Boston.
He really does fit right in. His first major league home run came in Boston, which is just crazy if you ask me. And he hits well. In AAA last year, in a pitchers friendly ballpark, he hit 330. By Fangraphs, he's projected to hit. This is a tweet from Boston Sports Gordo. Vaughn Grisham is projected by Fangraphs to hit 285 with a 778 OPS. Of all qualified second basemen, only Luis Arias and Ozzy Albies, Marte, Simeon, Torres, Jury had an OPS higher than 788 in 2023. Of all qualified second baseman, Arias had a Arise had a higher batting average than 285 in 2023. And this kid's a free agent in 2030, and the Red Sox washed Chris Sale. And I hate saying the term washed Chris Sale because, in retrospect, this trade, the Red Sox don't win this World Series without Chris Sale. Chris Sale will forever be a Boston legend. Did the last half of the did 2019 and beyond not go well? Yes. He only made in the time of 2029, not 2029, the 2019.
2029.
Did he only make 56 starts? Yes. Did he only throw 298 innings, most of those coming in 2019? Yes. Did he have a 4.16 ERA in that time frame? Yes. But what Chris Sale did in those first couple of years in Boston will forever be remembered. That 2017
The
to
sale
20,
price is right.
the sale price is right. This years 2017 to 2018, Chris Sale was 29-12, 59 games started. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you can back up a little bit.
Sorry. Had a 2.56 ERA,
It's
three
fine. I
372 innings, struck out 500 batters in those 2 years. Strike,
500 batters.
yeah, striking out 300 in 2017, striking out 237 in 2018. In 2017, he threw 214 innings.
That's an innings eater.
Yeah, I don't know how he didn't win a Cy Young. I think Corey Kluber won it.
Oh boy, that didn't age well.
Corey Kluber went 18-4. Chris Sale went 17-8 because he was the only good pitcher on the Red Sox that year. Corey Kluber had a 2.25 ERA, and Sale had a 2.99. Sale threw 17 more innings. Sale struck out 308 batters to Kluber's 265. I don't care that Kluber had a better whip, ERA plus, wins, WAR, and ERA.
He had everything better.
No, he didn't. He didn't. Dang, Kenley Jansen. Okay. I'm gonna just
I
read
don't
you.
want to talk about Kenley Jansen before he got to the Red Sox,
Well,
blowing all those games for the Dodgers.
I'm just gonna read you 5 through 9 on the NL Cy Young voting in 2017. Okay, and you're gonna deal with it.
Okay.
Kenley Jansen came in 5th. Gio Gonzalez came in 6th.
Okay.
Robbie Ray, before he was good, came in 7th. DeGrom in 8th. How many starts did DeGrom? And that was a 31 start DeGrom year. And then tied for 9th was Alex Wood and Jimmy Nelson.
That reminds me, Alex. I, for some reason, thought Manoa.
That's not even his name.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wasn't that the pitcher for the Alex Manoa
yeah.
pitcher for the Blue Jays that you, in one of our earlier episodes, went on a rant about?
Yeah, 'cause he sucks. How are there 4 candidates for AL Manager of the Year, but 6 for NL Manager of the Year?
Because it was not as tight of a race.
That is no. Paul Molitor only edged out Terry Francona by it was a one. There was actually a closer race in the AL than the NL. Torey Lovullo got 111 vote points to Dave Roberts' 55. But back to Chris Sale. So the Red Sox get their everyday second baseman. And the Chris Sale trade will always go down as one of the best in Red Sox history. And people hated it at the time. There were some people that thought the Red Sox gave up too much, as the Red Sox did trade their 1 and 3 prospects, which was number 5 prospect in baseball, I think at the time, Yoan Moncada, who was I think the number 1 at one point, and then Michael Kopech. Moncada's had 2 good years, and Kopech has been able to stay healthy and divorce the Disney star. So, at least I think.
Did you just bring up Dancing with the Stars?
No, Disney star.
Who's he married to?
I think he maybe was married to the girl that Zac Efron liked in High School Musical.
Vanessa Hutchinson?
Yeah, the one who's married to Cole Tucker now. But
She just like sports guys.
yeah, But then I'm gonna call out a Red Sox fan that I know is not gonna listen to this, but HVT. I used to agree with that guy because we were both Bluminati members. But this guy's a bozo. He refuses to trade anybody in the farm system. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm a realist. If I have to give up Cedon Rafaela for Jesus Luzardo, and it's Luzardo, say to get Luzardo, the Red Sox got to give up Nathan Hickey, Cedon Rafaela, um, Wilkman Gonzalez, and Nick Yorkie. I'm doing that in a heartbeat.
It wasn't Vanessa Hutchinson. It was Vanessa Morgan.
Vanessa
The chick from
Morgan.
My Babysitter's a Vampire.
Did they get divorced?
Yeah.
Damn, weren't they married for like a year or two?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Hold
pissed.
on.
Remember, okay, I don't know if
They
you.
got married January 4th, 2020. And he filed for divorce June 19th, 2020. In July 24th, 2020, she announced that she was pregnant.
What the? Damn. But I was not happy when the Red Sox gave up Yohan Moncada for Chris Sale. I thought we were losing something, but then, Rafael Devers just saved that. But it's.
Big scoops.
hmm So you've got to be willing to part way with minor leaguers. And look, in return, the Red Sox got a World Series and Vaughn Grisham at a Chris Sale. You can't really ask for much more. And I like to look at the positives of Chris Sale. That the contract extension obviously didn't work out, but I will always never forget the feeling of waking up every morning, checking who was pitching for the Red Sox that day, and seeing it was a Sale day. I never missed a. I can thoroughly say I never missed a Chris Sale start as a member of the Boston Red Sox.
This is true. I know when he made his start, when he came back from injury 2 years ago, maybe, you guys called me, you and Mom.
Yeah, yeah, I never missed a Chris Sale start. If you had to ask me my favorite start of Chris Sale, it's going to be his 18 strikeout performance against the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, where he almost set the record.
Yeah, but I think this is a very nice spot to end the episode on, unless you have anything else.
Nope, I think that's about it.
I think that like the focusing on the good of Chris Sale is a great way to end this. Keep on the lookout for a couple more episodes this week. We're going to try and get some more episodes done before I go back to school.
Mm-hmm. Start being a little bit more consistent in this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
goal.
It is. It is my New Year's resolution to be exact. So, uh, thank you guys for listening. Check back later this week for some more episodes. If you watch this on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And if you watch this on or listen to this on Spotify, be sure to leave a review. So, I think that's all we have. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next time.